Hello, readers of Every Word, and welcome to Every Word 365. I'm your host, Christina Munoz-Madsen, and today we're reading Job 1 through 3. There once was a man named Job who lived in the land of Uz. He was blameless, a man of complete integrity. He feared God and stayed away from evil. That is the first verse of the first chapter of this book. Welcome to Job. So, what do you think so far? Pretty heavy stuff, huh? Of course, my bleeding heart feels bad for him and anyone who is suffering. And spoiler alert, Job never actually gets all his questions answered. Did you know that? But what he does get is a humbling experience and a lesson that teaches him and us that suffering may sometimes be allowed in our lives to purify, test, teach, or strengthen the soul. God remains enough, deserves and requests our love and praise in all circumstances of life. And of course, that is on the overview page of Job from Got Questions. This is from the practical application. The book of Job reminds us that there is a cosmic conflict going on behind the scenes that we usually know nothing about. Often we wonder why God allows something, and we question or doubt God's goodness without seeing the full picture. The book of Job teaches us to trust God under all circumstances. We must trust God not only when we do not understand, but because we do not understand. The psalmist tells us, as for God, his way is perfect, Psalm 18:30. If God's ways are perfect, then we can trust that whatever he does and whatever he allows is also perfect. This may not seem possible to us, but our minds are not God's mind. It is true that we can't expect to understand his mind perfectly, as he reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, says the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts." That's Isaiah 55, 8 through 9, of course. Nevertheless, our responsibility to God is to obey him, to trust him, and to submit to his will, whether we understand it or not. That was from Got Questions, but there it is again, Isaiah 55, 8 through 9. Hey, I haven't quoted that one in a while, right? So thank you to Got Questions for bringing that back to us. The last line in today's daily walk is right on. It wasn't what he knew, but whom he knew that gave him strength to stand against any trial. That is so good and so important that you're not just taking knowledge from this journey through the Bible. Sure, we can learn a lot, and that's great, but it is all about you and your relationship with God, and hopefully that's what you're taking away from this. And here's a paragraph from Verse by Verse Ministry International, VBVMI, that is also right on. Though we may not have been conditioned by the world to view all suffering as bad, the Bible teaches the truth that suffering is not bad when it is designed to produce sanctification, just as it did for Christ. Therefore, we must prepare for and accept suffering brought for the purpose of creating holiness. And of course, I'm including the link that comes from. But what an incredible teaching, and so important for us to learn. And I don't think I ever sent out the overview video on Esther, so I'm including that as well. And our next reading will be Job 4 through 7. Buckle up. It is a bumpy ride, but I'm hoping you can learn a lot from this difficult and emotional book. Happy reading. Who wants to join us for a trip to Greece in 2025 with Travel with Friends? Here's more about what this trip will look like. We will arrive in Athens and enjoy our first day in Greece. The next day, we will visit the Acropolis and the Parthenon before viewing Athens atop Mars Hill, where Paul stood and preached the truth to the Gentile nation. Additional sites that will be seen include the Agora from above, which is the ancient marketplace and center of Athenian public life, the House of Parliament, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, Olympic Stadium, and the Presidential Palace. If you want to be a part of this incredible trip, send me an email or comment on this post, and I'll add you to our VIP list. Hope to see you in Greece with us in 2025.